Welcome back to Living Local on this tasty Tuesday. Summertime is all about the backyard barbecues, but we can't forget to round out a savory cookout without satisfying that sweet tooth. If you're looking for a light, delicious dessert to sweeten up your summer meals, we're getting you covered today. And joining us in studio is Rhonda Groh, owner of Eastern Iowa Baking Company. Thank you so much for being here again.
Good morning.
So, you've been on before. Give us a little history, though, about Eastern Iowa Baking Company and how you got started.
Taught for music for 25 years. I was an orchestra director, but I was the one doing the dinners for the faculty, the staff. I just did it. So when my youngest was ready to start school, I decided it was time for Mom to go back to culinary school. And I think I had too much fun in the 2 years that I was there. I don't think you're supposed to have that much fun at school. But shortly after I graduated, we ended up moving here to the Quad Cities. And while I had trained as a pastry chef and chef, not one to really enjoy working a hotline. And pastry chef jobs were a little hard to find. So started on the baking curve, which is a little different.
Yeah.
But we started, would it be 12 years ago at the farmer's market.
Oh my goodness.
And then graduated into a production facility on the west side of Davenport, and 5 years ago we moved out to Eldridge.
Well, good for you.
So it's been a journey.
Yeah, I was going to say it has been a journey. So today we're highlighting some summer treats, and you've brought all kinds of tasty desserts here. Show us first off about this, how to make the summer bread pudding.
Okay, this comes from England, and it's a wonderful way if you've got a loaf of bread that's starting to go stale at home, and it's a great way to get the kids involved because it's a little messy. But just thin sliced bread, trim the crust off. I've done a little bit of it already. And we've just taken frozen fruit, warmed it up a little bit, sweetened it up just a tiny bit, but you're going to take the juices and basically just dip the bread in there, kind of get it moist.
So when you say sweetened it up, with a little sugar, right?
A little bit of sugar. And we're just kind of creating a shell here. And like I said, this is where the kids can get involved in this. And I'm literally just using a plastic cup as my mold. It's something you can take on a picnic.
Yeah.
And we try to put the pretty side out. And of course, it's not cooperating quite now, but
no, this would be great for the kids. The kids don't even like crust anyway, right?
No.
So they're always picking it off.
And somehow or another, with the juices on it, it becomes moist and it transforms a little bit from what you normally think of. Now, when you've got this pretty well packed in there, and you can kind of fill in any of the cracks with some more bread, and we're just going to take the fruit, spoon it in the center, and a little bit of the juice because you want to get that bread totally saturated, and then put a cap on it. And the one thing I always forget to do is push it down as much as you can. You really do want this to be nice and tight.
Okay.
A little more of the juice on the top.
Because it will hold its mold, right?
Yes.
Better if it's compact.
And then let it sit in the refrigerator overnight.
Okay.
Put some weight on it.
Okay.
To actually kind of squeeze it together. And then the next day, it should just pop right out. A little bit of whipped cream on the top. This one, again, was the strawberries and blueberries, so we're just going to put a nice big strawberry on top, some blueberries on the side.
Beautiful.
You never had to turn the oven on.
Oh my goodness, yes. And you know, not a lot of dirty dishes either, right?
No, and you're getting rid of something that might go to waste.
Oh, I got to try a little bit of this. I mean, because usually you're thinking, when I think of bread pudding, I'm thinking, you know, usually you have cinnamon or nutmeg on it. Oh, I like that.
It's light. It's not as dense as a bread pudding. It's just very simple. Most kids will eat it, especially if they had a hand in making it.
Yeah. That is so good. Yeah, you can taste all that fruit.
And it's something, especially if you're using just a plastic cup, you can take with you on a picnic.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to the panna cotta.
Panna cotta.
Okay.
This comes from Italy. It actually is it has gelatin in it.
Okay.
But again, something real quick on top of the stove. It's a cup of half and half, 2 cups of whipping cream, some gelatin, a little bit of sugar, and you can add A lot of recipes call for liquor, so if you're having adults over, you can change it up. If you're just having the kids over, again, pile on the fruit. This one we kept simple. It's a vanilla panna cotta. And again, 5 minutes of prep and pour it into grandma's china that you've got sitting somewhere, and you've got a very simple, elegant dessert.
Yeah, and usually you find these like at Italian restaurants, right? This kind of dessert, yeah.
And it's just something light.
We got to try this one too, yeah.
This is never good for the diet.
Oh, I really like that one, yeah.
It's just very creamy.
It is.
But again, about 5 to 10 minutes of prep. You're just bringing the milk up to a boil, stopping it, putting the gelatin in, and letting it go. No,
that's great, especially, you know, for summertime picnic or something like that. Last minute, yeah, whip that up in no time.
Let it sit for an hour or two in the refrigerator, you're ready to go.
Now, there's something else that you brought, the rice pudding, but you made this in a crock pot.
Yes. Couple different things. I actually did a couple test batches, and I don't have like minute rice. One of the recipes I looked up online does use a minute rice.
Okay.
And within 4 hours in the crock pot, this was done. It's creamier than what you get with the traditional on the stove method, which actually threw my family off a little bit because they were used to the grains of rice actually being there, and now this is creamier and smoother. So once again, now if you really want to be decadent, ice cream on top of it.
Of course, yeah.
And otherwise you can just, again, dress it with a little bit of whipped cream, some fresh fruit. I left this deliberately unsweetened so that you can add whatever sweetener, honey, maple syrup.
Or even, you know, some fruit, I guess,
some
too,
fresh fruit
because
if you've got a diabetic in the family, or they can add an artificial sweetener to it. So again, it was 5 minutes throwing everything into the crock pot, turn the crock pot on low, and let it go.
Nice, nice. What about the tapioca?
Tapioca comes to us from South America, and it's actually a gluten-free food. Most people think of tapioca, it's kind of referred to as a nursery food. My kids used to love this. They love the little bubbles in it. Bubble tea is another form of tapioca, and the kids love the bubbles. Again, 5 minutes on top of the stove. This one I decided to get away from the milk, and we did with orange juice.
Okay.
But you can do it with apple juice. You can do it with coconut milk.
Try that, yeah. And then we're going to, oh yeah, this looks really good. Now, let's talk a little bit about the banana, the chocolate banana pudding.
Yes, we have to do a little twist on this one. Yeah, a little different. It's a little tart.
Yeah, I like
but
that though.
Summer fresh, and so if you've got somebody who's allergic to milk, perfect for them.
It's not your typical tapioca.
No.
But this is the chocolate banana.
Chocolate banana. We start with pastry cream.
Okay.
At home, if you want to start with vanilla pudding or something, I do recommend the cook on the stove kind. We lighten it with whipped cream, and then we take it a little bit step further. We take our bananas, saute them in some butter with a little brown sugar so they're caramelized.
Oh.
We put the wafer cookies in traditionally. This is milk chocolate. I just happened to have some on hand, and I thought for summer it was a little lighter.
Yeah.
And layer it with the bananas, the chocolate pudding, wafer cookies, and again,
ready to go. Yeah, very nice. Great tips for us, some great desserts. They taste delicious too, if only folks at home could taste it. Good taste. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for being here. And if you want more information, you can find the Eastern Iowa Baking Company on Facebook, and we'll also have those details posted on ourquadcities.com.